प्रेम से बोलो श्री गजानन स्वामी की जय. Let us join everyone as we chant the holy verses, the sacred verses of the Sri Ramcharitmanas. Tonight taken from Ayodhya Kaanda, from Doha 111 to 120. Let us begin. We join in invocation. Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakarishu Sarvada Sarvamangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadike Sharanye Trambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om Gurura Brahma Gurura Vishnu Gurura Deva Maheshwara Gurura Sakshat Pada Brahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Om Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pate Namaha. Prem se bolo Siyavar Ramachandra ki jai. Ramayana Doha. Tab Raghubir anek bhidi Sakahi sikavanu deen ho Rama Sakahi sikavanu deen Rama rajaya susisha dhari Bhavana gavanu tehi keen ho Rama Bhavana gavanu tehi keen Siyavar Ramachandra ki jai. Umaapati Mahadev ki jai. Bolo bhai sab santan ki jai. Chaupai. Puni siya Rama Lakan kar jori Jamuna hi kinha Pranam bahori. Puni siya Rama Lakan kar jori Jamuna hi kinha pranam bahori. Chale siya mudita to bhai Ravi tanu jakai karat badai. Pate ka aneka milai mag jata kahim sa prema diki do brata. Rama lakan sab anga tumhare diki sochu ati hridaya hamare. Marg chalahu payate hi paaye jyoti shujutaha mare bhaaye. Aghamu pantu dhiri kanan bhari tehi mahasata nari sukumari. Kari ke hiri bana jai न जोई हम संग चलहिम जो आयसु होई। जा बजा इहि बिधि पूछहि प्रेम बस पुलक गात जलु नैनो राम पुलक गात जलु नैन कृपा सिंधु पेरैत नहीं कही बिनितु मृदु बैन सियावर रामचंद्र की जय शरणम। चौपाई। जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम
जय जय राम।
जय पुर गावा बसहि मग माहि तिनहि नागसुर नगर सिहाहि केहि सुकृति केहि धरिम बसाये धन्य पुण्यमय परम सुहाये जहाँ जहाँ राम चरण चल जाहि तिन्ह समान अमर रावति नाहि पुण्य पुंज पग निकट निवासी तिनहि सराहि सुरपुरवासी जे बरि नयन में लोक रामी सीता लखन सहित धन्य स्वामी जे सर सरित राम अवगाही तिनहि देव सर सरित सराही जेहि तरु तर प्रभु कैत जाई करहि कल्पतरु तासु पराई परसी राम पद पदुम परागा मानति भूमि पूरी निज भागा। दोहा। चाह करहि धन विबूढ़ घन वर्षहि सुमन सिहाहि हो राम वर्षहि सुमन सिहाहि देखत गिरि बन विहग मृग राम चले मग जाई सियावर रामचंद्र की जय उमापति महादेव की जय। चौपाई। सीता लखन हितर गुराई गाव निकट जब निकसहि जाई सुनी सब बाल वृद्ध नर नारी चलहि तुरत गृह काजु बिसारी राम लखन सिया रूप निहारी पाई नयन पलु होहि सुखारी सजल विलोचन पुलक शरीरा सब भय मगन देखि दो बीरा बरनी न जाई दशा तिन्ह केरी लहि जनु राम कहा सुमर्मनि तेरी एक कन्ह एक बोली सिक देही लोचन लाहू लेहि चन एही राम ही देगी एक अनुरागे चित नयन मग छवि उरहानी ओही सी तिलतन मन भर पानी। दोहा। एक दे की बत चाह बली दासी मृदुल तृण पातो रामा दासी मृदुल तृण पात कहिम गवाई छिनु गवनब अबहि की प्रातो रामा गवनब अबहि की प्रात सियापति रामचंद्र की जय उमापति महादेव की जय। चौपाई। एक कलश भरी आनहि पानी अंचिया नाटक ही मृदुबानी सुनी प्रिय वचन प्रीति अति देखी राम कृपाल सुशील विशेषी जानी श्रमित सिया मन ही माही डरे कपिलंबु किन्ह भत चाही मुदित नारी नर देख ही शोभा रूप अनूपन यन मनुलोभा एक तक सब सो अहि चौरा रामचंद्र मुख चंद्र चकोरा तरुण तमाला परंतनु सोहा देखत कोटिम दन मनुमोहा दामिनी भरनल कनसुतिनी के नकसिक सुभग पावती जी के मुनि रक तिनक सिद्धिरा सोहही नर कमल धनु दीरा जटा मुकुट शीशनी सुभग उर्भुज नयन विशालो रामा उर्भुज नयन विशाल सरद परब विदुभदन भर लसत स्वेद कर जान सियावर रामचंद्र की जय उमापति महादेव की जय। चौपाई। जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम बरनी चाई मनोहर जोरी सोमा बहुत तो रीमति मोरी राम लखन सी या सुंदर तारी सब चित वही चित मन मति लाई थके नारी नर प्रेम पियासे मनहु मृगी मृग देखी आसे सिया समीप ग्राम दिय जाहि पूछत अति सने सकुचाही पार पार सब लागहि पाए कहि वचन मृदु सरल सुभाए राजकुमारी विनय हम करहि दिय सुभाय कछु पूछत धरहि स्वामी अभिमय चमहि हमारी बिलगु न मानव जानी गवारी राजकुंवर दो सहज सलोनी इह तेलहि दूनी मरकत सोनी। श्यामल गौर किशोल भरा सुंदर सुषम एनो राम सुंदर सुषम शरर सरबरी नाथ मुखु सरल सरोरुहनय सियावर रामचंद्र की जय उमापति महादेव की जय। चौपाई। कोटि मनोज लजावनिहारी सुमुखी कहू को आही तुम्हारी सुनी सैने मय मंजुल भानी सकुची सिया मन बहु मुसुकानी तिनहि बिलो की भी लोकति धरनी दो सकोच सकु क्षति भर भरनी सुकुची सप्रेमा बाल मृग नयनी बोली मधुर पिक भयनी सहज सुभायसु भगतन गोरी नामूलकनुलगु देवर मोरी बहुरी भजनु भिडु अंचल ढाकी पिया तन चेतई भौर करी भागी कंजन मंजुति त्रिजिन जननी निज पति कहे उते तिन्हसी सयनी बई मुदित सब ग्राम भगुती रंगनाराय राम सी अतिस प्रेम सिया पाय परी बहुविधि देहि असीशो रामा बहुविधि देहु असीश सदा सोहगिनी ओ तुम्हा जब लगी मही अहिसी ओ रामा जब लगी मही पार्वती सम पति प्रिय हो देवी नाम पर चाओ बसो पुनि पुनि विनय प्रिय कर जोरी जाओ एहि माँ मधुर बचन कही कही परितोषी जनु कुमुदिनी कौमुदी पोषी जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम
जय जय राम।
तब ही लखन रघु पर रुक जानी पूछे उमगुलो गनी मृदुबानी सुनत नारी नर भय दुखारी पुलकित घात भी लोचन बारी मिता मोदु मन भय मलिने विधि निधि दीन्हा लित जनु चीने समुझी करम गति धीर चुकीना सोदी सुगम मगु तिन्ह करि दीन्हा। लखन जानकी सहित तब गवनु कीन्ह रघुनाथ राम गवनु कीन्ह रघुनाथ तेरे सब प्रिय वचन कही लिया लाई मन साथ ओ राम
लीलाई मन साथ
सियावर रामचंद्र की जय उमापति महादेव की जय। पिरत नारी नर अति पछिताही दयहि दोषु देहि मन माही सहेत विषाद परस्पर कही विधि करत बहुल ते सब अहि निपत निरंकुश नितुर निसंकु जहि सशुकीन सरोज सतंकु रुक कल्पतरु सागरुकारा तेहि पतये बन राजकुमारा जाओ पय इन्हि दीन्ह बन बासु कीन्ह भाली विधि भोग बिलासु ऐ बिचरहि मग बिनु त्राना रचे बाली विधि बाहन नाना ए मही परही दासी कस पाता सुभग से जगत सृजत विधाता तरु भर भासा इन्ह विधि दीन्हा धवल धाम रचि श्रमुहि कीन्हा। जाओ ए मुनि पत धर जटिल सुंदर सूति कुमार ओ राम सुंदर सूति कुमार विविध भांति भूषण भसन पादि किए करतार ओ राम पादि किए करतार सियावर रामचंद्र की जय उमापति महादेव की जय। जाओ कंद मूल पलही काही बादी सुधादी असंजग माही एक कही सज सुहाई आपु प्रगट भई विधि न बनाई जहाँ लगी बेध कहीं विधि करनी श्रवण नयन मन गोचर भरनी देखहु कोची भुवन दस चारी कहा अस पुरुष का असी नारी इनही देखी भी विधि मनुरागा पततर जोग नावे लागा कीन बहुत श्रम एक न आए तेहि ईर्षापन आनी दुराए एक कही हम बहुत न जानही आपु ही परम धन्य करि मानहि ते पुनि पुण्य पुंज भ्रमले के जीवे कई देखी अहि जीवते एहि विधि कही कही बचन प्रिया लेहि नयन परिनीरो राम किमि चलहि मार्गम सुति सुकुमार सरी ओ राम स्तुति सुकुमार सरी सियावर रामचंद्र की जय उमापति महादेव की जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम नारी स्नेह विकल्प होही चकई साज समय जन सोही मृदु पद कमलक दिन मगुजानी गहबरी हृदयक अहि भर पानी परसत मृदुल चरण रुनारी सकुचति महीचिमी हृदय हमारी जाओ जगदीश इहि मनु दीन्हा कसना सुमनमय मार्ग कीन्हा जाओ मागा पा विधि पाही एर कियहि सकी आकी नमाही जे नर नारी नवसर नाई तिलसी हरामुना देखन पाई सुनी सुरूपी भुज ही अकुलाई अब लगी गई कहाँ लगी बाई समरथ धाई मिलो गई जाई प्रभु नित फेरही जन्म पल पाई जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम प्रेम से बोलो सियावर रामचंद्र की, व्यास जी महाराज की।
हम कथा के ते अधिकारी,
राम जय राम,
जिनके सत्संगति अति प्यारी।
श्री राम जय राम,
बिनु सत्संग विवेक न होई।
श्री राम जय राम,
राम कृपा बिनु सुलभ न सोई।
श्री राम जय राम,
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय राम,
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय राम,
राम चरण बारिज जब देखो।
श्री राम जय राम,
तब निज जन्म सफल करी लेखो।
श्री राम जय राम,
सीता राम चरण रति मोरे।
श्री राम जय राम,
अनुदिन बढ़ऊ अनुग्रह सो।
श्री राम जय राम,
अनुदिन बढ़ऊ अनुग्रह तोरे।
श्री राम जय राम,
अवध तहाज राम निवासु।
श्री राम जय राम,
कहीं दिवस जहाँ भानु प्रकाशु।
श्री राम जय राम,
गुरु बिन भवनिधि तरई न कोई।
श्री राम जय राम,
जो मेरंची शंकर सम होई।
श्री राम जय राम,
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय राम,
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय राम,
श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय। साथी है मित्र गंग के जल बिंदु पान तक। अर्धांगिनी बढ़ेगी तो केवल स्मशान तक। परिवार सब लोग चलेंगे स्मशान तक। बेटा भी हक निभाएगा तो अग्निदान तक। इससे तो आगे भजन ही है साथी, हरि के भजन बिन अकेला रहेगा।
इससे तो आगे भजन ही है साथी, हरि के भजन बिन अकेला रहेगा।
इससे तो आगे भजन ही है साथी, हरि के भजन बिन अकेला रहेगा।
इससे तो आगे भजन ही है साथी, हरि के भजन बिन अकेला रहेगा।
जीवन ये 2 दिन का मेला रहेगा, कायम न जग का जमेला रहेगा।
जीवन ये 2 दिन का मेला रहेगा, कायम न जग का जमेला रहेगा।
जीवन ये 2 दिन का मेला रहेगा, कायम न जग का जमेला रहेगा।
जीवन ये 2 दिन का मेला रहेगा, कायम न जग का जमेला रहेगा।
इससे तो आगे भजन ही है साथी, हरि के भजन बिन अकेला रहेगा।
इससे तो आगे भजन ही है साथी, हरि के भजन बिन अकेला रहेगा।
इससे तो आगे, इससे तो आगे, इससे तो आगे। गजाननं भूतगणातिसेवितं कपितजम्बो फलसारभक्षणम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारणम् नमामि विघ्नेश्वर पादपङ्कजम्। या कुन्देन्दुतुषारहारधवला, या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता, या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा, या श्वेतपद्मासना, या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्कर प्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता। सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती, सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती। निःशेष जाड्यापहा, गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः, गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री लोकाभिरामम् रणरङ्गधीरम् राजीवनेत्रम् रघुवंशनाथम् कारुण्यरूपम् करुणाकरं तं श्रीरामचन्द्रम् शरणं प्रपद्ये। मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठम् वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यम् श्रीरामदूतं शरणं प्रपद्ये। बोलो राम 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 सीता राम राम राम।
बोलो राम 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 सीता राम राम राम।
राजा राम 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 सीता राम राम राम।
राजा राम 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 सीता राम राम राम।
मंगल भवन मंगलहारी प्रभु सदशरथ अजिर बिहारी।
श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम।
रघुकुल रीति सदा चली आई प्राण जाए वरु वचन न जाए।
श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम।
नहीं कलि कर मन भगति विवेकु राम नाम अवलंबन एकु।
श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम।
राम एकता पसती तारी नाम को खल उमति सुधारी।
श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम।
होई सोई जो राम रचि राखा वो कर कर बढ़ावे साखा।
श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम।
बोले लखन मधुर मृदुवानी ज्ञान विराग भगति रस सानी।
श्री राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम।
काहू न को सुख दुख कर दाता निज कृत कर्म भोग सब भ्राता।
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम।
कर्म प्रधान विश्व करि राखा, जो जस करई सो तस फल चाखा।
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम।
कोमल चित अति दीन दयाला, कारण बिनु रघुनाथ कृपाला।
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम।
बोलो राम 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 सीता राम राम राम।
बोलो राम राम राम, सीता राम राम राम।
राजा राम 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 सीता राम राम राम।
राजा राम राम राम, सीता राम राम राम।
बोलो राम 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 सीता राम राम राम।
बोलो
राम 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 सीता राम राम राम। श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय। Okay, let me welcome all of you to this satsang tonight. We are somewhere in the region of night number 50 or so. A very special Hari Om to Surendra and all the team back here who had sung the Ramayana earlier. When we left it last night, we saw Bhagwan Ram saying goodbye to the great sage Bharadwaj, Muni Bharadwaj. And it's a very peculiar type of situation which is happening, because we saw that this Ramayana started by Bharadwaj Muni asking Yajna to tell Ramayana. And Yajna is telling Ramayana. And in that Ramayana which Yajna is telling to Bharadwaj only, he said that Bhagwan Ram came to visit Bharadwaj Muni. So he is listening about his own encounter with Bhagwan Ram, or his own meeting with Bhagwan Ram. And who is telling? He is not telling, he is listening, he is Shrota. Remember, there are 4 Shrotas and 4 Vaktas. He is Shrota only, he is listening. He is listening to the story of his meeting with Bhagwan Ram as told by Yajnavalkya Muni. Kya baat hai? How it is. Anyway, but this is the greatness of sages and saints, and we'll see that some more even today in this. Bhagwan Ram continued his journey down south from Ayodhya to Chitrakoot, and Chitrakoot to Lanka is all southern direction. Huh? From Ayodhya to Chitrakoot. Chitrakoot is in south of Ayodhya. And he spent 13 of the 14 years there only, in Chitrakoot. And in that last year, he moved further south and made it all the way to Lanka. So most of the time was spent in, but Chitrakoot in today's modern day Madhya Pradesh. What do you call Madhya Pradesh? Just a little bit south of UP. So this is more or less the northern part of India, where he spent most of his time. And finally moved on. But as he was moving, as he is going down south, he is going from village to village, passing through all the various villages and all. And the people there, Sunata, Tira, Basi, Nara, Nari, all those people who heard that Bhagwan Ram was coming this way, those who lived on the banks of Ganga, Yamuna, in that Prayag area, all of them, Thai Nija Nija Kaj Bisari. All of them left whatever they were doing and ran there to get darshan of Bhagwan Ram because everybody was talking. You know, when something happens, everybody starts talking. Like that. Sakala katha tina sabahi sunai banahi chale pitu ayasu pai. All of them were talking. These two most handsome princes and this princess and all, they have come to the forest. How? Why? Wherefore? Whence? All sorts of questions people were asking and talking and talking, and then one of them, Banahi chale pitu ayasu pai, somebody said. They were telling each other, all the stories were going around. And the stories that go around, many times, they change. You never know what goes around. Something happened here and something else people will tell there. Anyway, they were all telling that the father sent him to the forest and all. Sunibisha Sabishad Sakala Pachitai, and all of them hearing what this king had done to exile his son, and all of them lamented and regretted and everything like that. Rani, Rai, Kinha, Bhala Nahi. They said, this king and queen did not do well at all. How can you banish such tender, soft-looking princes and that princess? How can you do? Of course, the prince and princess, they were not banished. Only one prince was banished. But people got the message that all the princes were banished and this and that. People are talking. Okay, now, a very peculiar thing in Ramayana. And now you have time to go and do some homework. You see, in any class, there is always homework also. So now I'll tell you, this is after or just before 110. Last chaupai before 110. Tulsidaji. As Bhagwan Ram is moving south and he's meeting all of these people, so many villagers from everywhere coming to get his darshan, and he's blessing them and this and that and all that. Tulsidaji described, Tehi avasar ek tapasu awa Shri Ram Jai
Jai Jai Rama.
Tej punj lagu bhaya suhawa.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
Tej punj lagu bhaya suhawa.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
Kavi alakhit gati vesh viragi.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
Man kram bachan ram anuragi.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Rama.
Jai Raghurama.
Jai Raghurama.
Jai Sita Rama.
Jai Sita Rama.
Syamara Ramachandra ki jai. Tehi avasar, and Bhagwan is left Bharadwaj Muni, and now he is going. Next stage he'll meet is the author of Ramayana only, Valmiki ji. But in between he's meeting all villagers and all people on the way in different gram, village, and he's blessing so many people. And while on this journey, Tulsidas ji writes, Tehi avasar, on that occasion, ek tapasu awa, a tapasvi came. Now see, that is all that is given. A tapasvi came. Fair description is given. Teja Punj. He was resplendent, glowing. Teja Punj, the tapasvi. Tapasvi in English is what? Tapasvi. Tapasvi in English. What is tapasvi in English? See, some words in English, now there is no word for that. Ascetic. Ascetic, yes. An ascetic came And Tej Punj, storehouse of resplendence, like that. Then Laghu bias. Laghu bias means very young, of young age. Laghu bias. Bias, sorry, not bias. Bias. Laghu bias. Then Suhava, beautiful, handsome. Then Kavi, Alakhit. This Kavi Alakhit phrase means the Kavi, Tulsidaji, who is the Kavi of this Ramayana, he did not know who it was. Or he does not know who it was. This is a very peculiar thing. I'll tell you. Athava, kaha kavi, kavi tha. Or it is the Kavi himself. Means it is Tulsidaji himself who had come. And he does not know what to say about himself. This is a very strange thing. So now I'll tell you. He says, Ek tapasu. Tapasu, ascetic came. So at this point, all commentators of Ramayana say they don't know who the tapasvi is, who the ascetic is. And in many places, many sages say it is Tulsidas himself who came. Many places, people say it is Hanumanji who came. And it is also possible to say that it is Lord Shiva who came in the form of a tapasvi. But Tulsidas has only written this much, and he says, Beshu Biragi. He was dressed as a Vairagi, means totally dispassionate, detached person. That point to Lord Shiva. So some people might be right. It might be Lord Shiva. Because Lord Shiva doesn't wear anything. Then, Manakrama Bachana Ram Anuragi. And in body, speech and mind, he was a devotee of Ram. Now, that for Lord Shiva, for Hanumanji, for Tulsidaji, that will work for all of them. And if you look at all of the other words, Teyavasad Ekatapas, Ava, Teja Punj, resplendent, glowing. That will work for all three of them also. Laghu Bayas, young age. Well, tapasvis come there in whichever of them it is, in a form, they have taken a young person, have taken the form of a young person. Then, Suhava, beautiful. Kavi, Alakhit. The Kavi doesn't know Gati, the person who it is. Then, Sajala Nayanatana Pulaki Nija Ishtadev Pehichani. His eyes were filled with tears, and he recognizes Ishtadev, Rama. Now, again, that will work for all three of them. Because Lord Shiva's Ishtadev is Rama. Hanumanji's Ishtadev is Rama. Tulsidaji's Ishtadev is Rama. Ishtadev word, I hope you know. Ishtadev, the form of God of our personal choice. A personal form of God. That is called Ishtadev. Meaning to say, see, the same one Ishvara has taken so many forms, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. And then all of these Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh also Ishvara's forms. Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. They have also taken avatar. So, Brahmaji's avatar also many are there. Brahmaji's avatar, which you all might be knowing, very famous avatar of Brahmaji is Jamavant. You know that? Jamavant. Then Vishnu avatar, so many. Dasha avatar and so many different avatars of Vishnu. Then Mahesh avatar, so many also. Right? Famous one which you know is Hanumanji. So, all Ishvara's form is Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, and in these forms he has taken many other avatars. Now, so many avatars of the Devi also. Maya Shakti. So, Saraswati, then Lakshmi, then Durga or Parvati here. And they have also taken so many various avatars. Now, out of so many countless forms of the divinity, I'm sure there will be one form to which you are attracted, one form which you like, one form which you hold dear in your heart. There must be. You have to search your own heart. You search like this, that will be your Ishta Devata. Just search in your heart. Which one is you are attracted to the most? Some people say, Swamiji, I have two. Some people say three. I am attracted to all of them. I think I better, more the merrier. What are you worried about? Don't worry about it. It helps at a certain stage in your spiritual evolution. It helps to have one so that you can focus your mind. And at the same time, knowing that that one is nothing but a manifestation of the same Ishvara, the one Ishvara. Whichever form you like is a manifestation of same Ishvara only. You have to never forget that. That will come in Uttarakhand. Last Kaanda. Now we need Ayodhya Kaanda, so we have a long way to go yet. But this tapasvi recognized his Ishta Devata Ram. And I told that this line now will apply to all three of them. Who is this tapasvi? Pare udanda jimi dharani tala. Fell like a stick in front of Bhagwan Sri Ram. Pranam. Dasha na jai bakhani. His state could not be described. Ram saprema pulaki uralava. And Bhagwan Ram now, knowing him to be so suffused with love, Rama brought him to his heart. Who? The tapasvi. Paramarang kajanu parasa pava. That this tapasvi felt like a beggar who found the paras money. Paras money, you know? Paras money is a stone. And if you touch any iron or metal with that stone, that metal turns into gold. So when a beggar finds that stone, the tapasvi felt like that. This is Tulsidasji's description. Manhu prema paramarathu do. As though in the tapasvi, love, devotion, bhakti, and supreme knowledge both had manifested in one. Two came in one person. This is the two main parts, Bhakti and Jnana. Bhakti and Jnana manifested in this one person. Milata dhareu tana. See, do milata. Two came together, milata dhareu tana, and took bodily form. This is the tapasvi. I tell you, most people say it is Tulsidasji who came. Tulsidasji came and manifested there before Bhagwan Ram. Most say, then many say Hanumanji. Some say Lord Shiva. But when I read lines like this, I feel it is Hanumanji or Lord Shiva and not Tulsidasji. Because see, Tulsidasji will have to be describing himself. And it is not like Tulsidasji to tell. See, like Milata Dhare, Manahu Prema Paramaratu Do, as though, tapasvi was as though Bhakti and Gyan had come together, both of them, and manifested in human form. It is very difficult for me to see that it Tulsidasji speaking about himself like that. But still there could be justification for Tulsidasji. The arguments are very good. It is Tulsidasji himself who came, and he'll have to be speaking about himself. Another thing is, he will have Tulsidasji just 500 years ago, 500-600 years ago, not long. Tulsidasji is speaking about something which transpired very long time ago. And so Tulsidasji would have had to transcend time and go back to the time when all of this thing was happening. He would have had to travel in time, which of course for a sage is anything difficult. Very easy thing. Or whatever he is telling in past tense would have had to be brought into, he would have had to make past into present. He would have had to bring the whole past and make it into present. And now he appears into the whole thing. There's a tremendous amount of thinking. And none of this is impossible. And in fact, now if you're studying modern physics and all of these things, these time and all is all relative thing, you know. Past and present and future and all relative things. You have to think about these things a little bit. Anyway, so he continues in this most wonderful portion of Ramayana. He says, Bahuri Lakhana Payana Soi Laga. After doing Dandavat Pranam to Bhagwan Ram, this tapasvi did prostration to the feet of Lakshmana. Bahuri Lakhana Payana Soi Laga. Leena Utai Umagi Anuraga. And Lakshmana lifted him. And then Punisya Charana Dhuri Dhari Sisa. And then he bowed his head to the feet of Sitaji. Janani Jani. Punisya Charana Dhari. Let me see if it's page 429. It is not. You see? Yeah, see? Why you're telling me we have two different books? Kina utai umagi anurag. And then Janani Jani Sisu. Dinhi Asisat means he prostrated, this tapasvi prostrated now to Sitaji. And she blessed him. Then Kinhi Nishad Dandavatatehi. Kina Nishad Dandavatatehi Mileu Mudit Lakhi Ramavasanehi. And then Nishad did pranam to this tapasvi now. Nishad means Guha was there still. Just now he'll go now only. But Nishad was still there, Guha. Piyatanayana Patu Puta Rupa Piyusha Mudita Suasanu Pai Jimmy Bhuka. Then Nishad and everybody there got, of course, the Tapasvi also got darshan of Ram, and Nishad got darshan of Tapasvi, and so on. That ended it. Te pituma tu kahau sakhi kaise tin pathaye ban balak aise. The story which was going on was Bhagwan Ram was meeting all of these villagers as they are going, as they are moving, right? Bhagwan Ram was meeting all of them, and all of the villagers discussed what type of parents to send away these tender looking children to the forest, and this and that was the talk. And suddenly inside of that now came a tapasvi came. Some people who read, those who are scholars and all, scholastic, scholarly people, what they say that is an interpolation. Then really it is these verses are there in some old manuscripts also. So interpolation is very difficult to justify. So since it is there, now we have to deal with it. I mean, you think about it now, you go, who can it be and all that, right? But anyway, suddenly now Tulsidashi goes back to the story which he was telling about how all the villagers were talking. How can they send away such tender looking young children to the forest and all of that? Te pituma tukao saki kaise jinda pataye bana balak aise. Which type of parents can send away such young looking children? Ram lakhanasya rupani hari hoi saneha bikala naranari. All the men and women became very much agitated and miserable, sorrowful, seeing this Ram, Lakshmana, Sitaji in the forest. That is the idea. Then I told you last night only, in this journey is about dropping, not about taking up. This journey is about dropping. Bhagwan is exiled, and more people wanted to join. And we saw from beginning itself, Bhagwan kept sending by any which way. yena kena prakarina hook or crook, send away all those who have come. Now Guha was there and Guha begged to stay, and Bhagavan said, okay, 3-4 din, 3-4 days. Now Bhagavan is going to send him away also. तब रघुबीर अनेक विधि सखहि सिखावन दीन राम सखहि सिखावन दीन राम रजाय सुशीस धरी भवन गवन तेई कीन सिया
पर रामचंद्र जी जय शरणम पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय
सियावर रामचंद्र
जी जय शरणम
तब रघुवीर अनेक विधि सकहि सिखावन दीन. Now Bhagavan in many ways convinced Guha to go back, but more than that is Sikhavan Dina. He told Sikhavan Dina means he instructed Guha, taught Guha, explained many things to Guha, and then sent him. Ramayana Rajayasu Sisadhari, and taking all the directions and teachings and the commands and all so many things Rama gave to Guha, taking all of it on his head. Bhavana Gavanu Teikinha. Guha went away to his Shringaverpur, his city, capital city, which means where he is from, right? Shringaverpur, which we saw. So, Guha had become now a lifelong friend because Bhagavan himself calls him friend. And this befriending of Guha is a very, very wonderful lesson, signal in Ramayana, you know, that here is the son of Dasharaji Maharaj, such a great king Dasharaji. And this is Avatar Bhagavan Ram, son of such a great king, and who married Jagat Janani Sitaji and all of this. But all his greatness and all of that is counted as nothing when it comes to the feelings and the cherishing of other human beings. That is it. This is Rama. Whatever he may be, but he befriends. You'll see in this Ramayana, you see now Guha. Just now, how he surrendered to Kevat. Then he will go there, and Bali, who is the one who is in palace? Bali, who is the king, who is in palace, he will leave and he will befriend Sugriv, who is living in the forest with nothing. Shamuk Parvat. This is Bhagavan Ram. He will leave everybody and go to the house of Shabari. He walks from Ayodhya to come to bless Kevat. He will stop his own crying when he loses Sita ji, and he will lament the condition of Jatayu, of Valtya. He forgets his sorrow in the sorrow of others. This is Rama. So now, befriending Guha, and this is now the first instance of such display by Bhagavan Shri Ram, to befriend Guha, who is a tribal person in the forest dweller, like that. Punisiya Rama Lakhana Kar Jori, Jamuna Hikina Pranama Bahori. And then Guha left, Bhagavan Ram, Sita, Lakshmana, they came and they did pranam to Yamuna, Nadi. Yamuna is brother of Yama, I'm sister of Yama, Yamraj. They are children of Surya Bhagavan. So they came to that Yamuna. See, that means they traveled from Prayag little bit west and did pranam to Yamuna. Those of you who have seen, you would know that the direction it comes from and all that. Slightly west. Then, chale sasiya mudita do bhai ravi tanuja kai karata badhai. And they, see, Tulsidaji doesn't say that they took a dip in Jamuna. He said they did pranam to Yamuna river. Yamuna, Jamuna is same, eh? I hope you know. Let me tell you. In North India, if you're from these states of Bihar, UP, Orissa, all of these states and that part of the country, any ya will become ja. Ya will be in those states. Ya will because ya is difficult to say, ja is easy to say. You in your spare time try to say, you will see that. See, yogi. Yogi is more difficult to say than jogi. Correct or not? Jogi is easier to say. Yuga is more difficult to say than juga. Yuga, and in those states they say juga. Kal Jug, have you heard? Kal Jug. Yes. It is Kali Yuga. But Kal Jug. All year becomes ja. So, Yamuna is same as Jamuna. Like that. The year become ja. So, here, they did their pranam. Tulsidaji doesn't say that they take a dip. I mean, you can think. I'm just telling. You think also. But Bhagwan Ram told many stories of Yamuna, and Patika Aneka. And they went ahead. Now, Patika Aneka Milahi Magan Jata Kai Saprem Dekhi Do Bharata. So many yatris they met, countless on the way. People go. Oh, see, Patika Aneka Milata Magajata. You know, for the last few years we have been talking about yatra. We do yatras here, right? We started several years now. We started taking Ganga Jal from Blanchishare's Ganga Dhara and coming all the way. In fact, we stopped here. Pandit is not there. But we stayed here, upstairs here, 1 year, as we were walking down south to Patiram Trace. So we call yatra, right? And Tirat, those things we have to once again revive. When we lose them, we lose a big part of spirituality. We have to, because what has happened, we have become very, very comfortable, attached beings. And a comfortable, attached being, he is not going to evolve spiritually. Please pay attention to this. Anybody who is too comfortable and attached to all material comfort, he is not going to go anywhere. That we have become like that. So, the yatra and all of these tirath and all, they are meant to remove this tamas from us. Becoming too comfortable and complacent is tamas. The yatra is meant to remove all of this. And so if you go to any of the Tirtha Sthan in India, anytime, there will be millions of people going on yatra. It is such a big thing. That is why when you have, for example, the Kumbh Mela, that is the biggest gathering of human beings on the earth. You on the earth nowhere you will have such a big gathering of human beings. It is all yatra and tirath, you see. And that thing we have to make sure that we bring back into our life, because it removes tamas and brings back this, some rajas and sattva. But when we have become too complacent and too comfortable and too attached to many, see, we have an ashram in Tapovan in the mountains. And when I tell people, chalo, let's go to that ashram. Oh God, Swamiji, you have running water there? They have lights. How are the mosquitoes? I said, they are fine. They're waiting on you. But there's an ashram there, and it is good to go sometime. In fact, one of these nights, to the organizers, one of these nights we'll do in Tapovan. Okay, start planning. So, Bhagwan, Tulsidashi takes time to mention. Pathika, aneka, means countless millions of yatris Bhagwan met on the way. Milahi Magajata, as they were going, people going on yatra. Raja Lakhana Saba Anga Tumhare Dekhi Soch Ati Hridaya Hamare. When they saw Rama Lakshmana, they thought, what is this? They are people who have signs on their body of kings. They look like kings. How is it that they are walking on this? Maraga chalahu paya dehi paye. Walking on this paths of yatris, walking barefoot. These yatris were thinking, how is Rama Lakshmana like this? Jyotishu jhoot hamare bhai. And then they said, all these jyotishis, jyotishis, you know, who read all patra and read signs and markings and all that, all of them jhoot. Jhoot means they all tell false things only. Why? Because if you look, Jyotishis, they look at the book, they look at the signs, they read the lines and all of that, right? And then they tell the fate. But if you look at the signs and lines on these Rama Lakshmana, they are supposed to be kings riding on chariots and horses, and they are walking barefoot. That means all the Jyotishi told the wrong thing. This is the writing of Tulsidashi. Agamapanta Girikanana Bhari Te Mahasata Nari Sukumari. They are walking all these mountains and all that like ordinary yatris. When they have signs and markings of kings, when they're supposed to be riding on chariots and horses and elephants and this and that, you see. Karike, then they offer to take credit, told Rama Lakshmana, look at you, you're walking in this forest, you don't know this forest is infested with lions and tigers and this and that, better we lead you, you might go in the wrong place. Bhagwan, Ei vidi puchahi prema basa, pulaka gat jalu, Nain, Kripa Sindhu, Pherahi, Tinahi. Just now I sent away Guha. You want me to take more people now? Take more people with me now? Bhagwan said, no, nothing doing. Don't show us the path, just tell us. Yeah? But Tulsidashi's description of the places Bhagwan Ram visited, see. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Ramachandra ki jai, Jai Jai Ram Charana Chali Jahi. Whichever place the feet of Bhagwan Ram touched, Tin Saman Amaravati Nahi. That place became so lovely, so beautiful, so great, that even the city of Indradev, Amaravati, is the capital of Indra in Swarga. Even that, in Trinidad language, man, even Amaravati, I want not know that place. That is Amaravati. Jay Bari Nayana. Punya Punjamaga, Nikata, Nivasi, and the people also. See, Tulsidas has this much description, right? And in traditional stories and kathas and village stories, there are so many more stories are there. Bhagwan's feet touched that place and the place became holy. Bhagwan's feet touched the place and it became glorious like that. And people's eyes became filled seeing the Lord. It is said that the dust also, this is the other stories and all this, which is not here, that when Bhagwan was walking on the path, the dust that touched the feet of Bhagwan, the dust started dancing. And when the other dust saw these dust dancing, they were, why are you all dancing? Oh, Bhagwan's feet just touched us. And so we are dancing. And then they felt sorry for the other dust. Look, Bhagwan's feet did not touch you all. Come, rub on me a little bit. Even the dust, the dust rubbing the other dust so that they will get the blessings of Bhagwan Ram. Like that, wherever his feet touch. Jaha jaha Rama charana chali jahi. Jai varil nayana bilo kahi. Ramahi Sita Lakhana Sahita Ghanasamahi. People also fill their eyes with seeing Bhagwan Ram. Jahi taru tar Prabhu Baitahi Jahi Karais Kalpataru Tasu Barai. That the trees under which he rested, those trees became better than the Kalpataru, the wish-fulfilling tree. That is the idea. Parasirama pada paduma paraga manati bhumi bhuri nija bhaga. That's what I was telling you just now about the dust. Sita Lakhana Sahita Raghurai. Tulsidas, she continues with that. Sita Lakhana Sahita Raghurai.
Shri Rama Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Gav nikat jab nik sahi jai.
Shri Rama Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Suni sab bal bridh nar nari.
Shri Rama Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Chalahi turat grih kaj bisari.
Shri Rama Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Ram Lakhan siya roop nihari.
Shri Rama Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Pai nayan phalo hohi sukhari.
Shri Rama Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Jaya Raghurama.
Jaya Raghurama.
Jaya Sitarama.
Jaya Sitarama.
Syavar Ramachandra ki jai. Sita Lakhana Sahit Raghurai. Gav nikat jab nikasahi jai. Suni sab. When they came close to any village, again Tulsidas is telling over and over same thing. This 10 Dohas tonight, this is the only thing. Bhagwan Ram visiting all the various places. And then how blessed the people were for the Lord to visit their village, their place, for them to get a darshan. I see there are many countless millions and other places who could not get any darshan. How blessed these people were. Suni, Saba, Bala, all children, Bridha, old people, Nar, Nari, men and women. Means all people heard that Bhagwan, Chalahi, Turata Griha, Kaja, Bisari, throwing away all their work, whatever work they were doing in the house. They ran away there to see Bhagwan Ram Lakshmana, Ram Lakhana Siya Rupa Nihari, Pai Nayana Phalu Hohi Sukhari. That their eyes bore fruit. The eyes became useful on that day when they saw Bhagwan Ram. Otherwise, those eyes only seeing worldly things. That day they saw Bhagwan Sajala Lochana Pulaka Sarira. Their eyes welled up with tears and their hair stood on end. And Saba Bhaye Magana Dekhi Do Bira. And they got immersed, lost in darshan of Bhagwan Ram. That is the idea. And then the ladies now, they thought, what is Sita? Look at her. Some of them tried to touch her also. She looks like a fairy. And now they ask, this is after 116. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Koti manojal javani hare.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Sumukhi kahu ko ahi tumhare.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Jaya Raghu Rama.
Jaya Raghu Rama.
Jaya Sita Rama.
Jaya Sita Rama.
श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय. श्याम गौर किशोर बर सुंदर सुषमा ऐन सरद सर्वरीनाथ मुख सरद सरोरुह name. Those two most handsome princes who have one dark color and one fair color like that, whose eyes are like the lotuses. They ask, Koti Manoja Javani Hari, who puts to shame millions of Kamadev, who is supposed to be the most handsome. These princes put to shame this Kamadevi, millions of Kamadev put together. Sumukhi, Kahahu, Ko ahi tumhari? Who are they to you? They asked Sita ji. And Sita ji got shy and she pulled a sari over her face, Who are they to you? And then Sita ji replies, now, in that shyness, Sahaja Subhaya Subhagatan Gore.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Naam Lakhan Laghu Devar More.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Bahuri Baran Bidu Anchal Danki.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Yatan Chitai Bhav Kari Baki.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama.
Khanjan Manjuti Che Nayani.
Shri Ram
Sita ji is replying, because all the village ladies and all, they ask, who these two princes, who are they to you? Sahaja suvaya subhagatana ghore. Well, that most wonderful fair colored one there, she told, Nama Lakhana Laghu Devara More. His name is Lakshman. He is this younger brother, and he is my brother-in-law. Devar. Bahuri Badan Bidu. Anjala Dhanki. Piyatana Chitai. Bhauha Karibanki. And then she pulled her sari over her face, and the other one day, well, you know na, he is, you know na. Like that. Actually, she didn't say the word, eh? Just like that, she gave signs only. He is my, you know na. In Trini language. I don't know in English how you will say that. He is my, you know na. With her sari over her face. Like that. And the women there of the village, when they realized it, Tulsidashi said, Rankanha, Raya, Rasi, Janul, Luti. Like when a pauper gets the treasury of a king. Like that. How happy they became. Atisa Premasya Paya. And all of them, with great love, they bowed down to the feet of, these are all the women of the forest, on the path. Atisa Premasya Paya Pari, they fell on the feet of Sitaji with great love. Bahubidi Dehi, Asi Sitaji blessed them profusely, all of them. And Sada Sohagini Hohu Tuma Jaba Lagi Mahi Ahi Sis. Let me read that in Hindi. Ve atyanta prem se Sitaji ke पैरों पकड़ कर बहुत प्रकार से आशीष देती और शुभकामनाएं करती है कि जब तक शेष जी के सिर पर पृथ्वी है तब तक तुम सदा सुहागिनी बनी हो. They bless Sita ji actually for a long married life, as long as Sheshnag keeps the earth on his head. So long. But that is very long, eh? Then, Lakhana Janaki Sahita Taba, Gavanuki na Raghunath, Pere Sava Priya Bachana Kahi, Liye Lai Manasa, and Bhagwan Ram, Lakshmana Sita ji, they moved again forward. I told you, no? And Tulsidashi's description is like that. This is number 118. लखन जानकी सहित तब गवन कीन रघुनाथ राम गवन कीन रघुनाथ तेरे सब प्रिय बचन कही लिए लाई मन साथ सिया वर रामचंद्र जी जय शरण Janaki Sahita Tava Gavanuki in Raghunath Bhagwan taking Sita ji and Lakshmana, he moved forward and Tulsidashi's word. That's why we are chanting this. So wonderful lines he puts everywhere. Pere Savapriya Bachana Sahi Kahi. He made all of them stay back because everybody wants to follow Ram. He made all of them stay back. And Tulsidashi's last phrase there, Le Lai Manasat. Bhagwan left. The people stayed back, but he took all of their hearts with him. When they let their hearts go with Ram. They could not leave Ram. They stayed back, but their hearts went with Ram. That is the idea. Eh? And this is the difference between Komala Chitrati Dina Dayal, the soft-hearted, tender-hearted Rama, who is for no reason compassionate. If we are like that in the world, people want to meet us. People want to be with us. And if we are the opposite, they say, oh God, boy, look, he coming again. That is how we have to be like Rama is demonstrating how we have to be, you see. It is said, some people bring joy wherever they go. And some people bring joy whenever they go. We have to decide which one we want to be. But Rama is the first. He brings joy wherever he goes. And now that he leaves, he takes the people's heart with him. Like that. Tulsidas Ji's description. Bhagwan cannot leave without taking people's heart. That is the idea. Chitta chora. It steals away our chit. Chit means heart, mind, heart, everything. Jau ekanda moola phala khai. It is after 119. Khahi badi sudhadi asana jaga mahi ek kahai e sahaja suhaye apu pragata bhaye vidhi na banaye. As he continues, the same pathik means yatri is on the way. They are commenting again. It's a comment of another yatri. What is that? These three people, they are so beautiful. These three are so lovely, so beautiful. Brahmaji could not have been the one who made them. They have to be Swayam Pragat. Because Brahmaji also cannot make somebody so beautiful. What comment of it? That Brahmaji also is incapable of making anybody so beautiful. Aapa Pragat. Bhaye. Vidhi na banaye. Brahmaji did not make them. How many methods, how many upaya, means Tulsidas is trying to describe the beauty of Ram, Lakshmana and Sita ji. There's another means to say that even Brahmaji could not have fashioned such beings. They have to be Swayam Pragat. Swayam Pragat, I told in Sanskrit only. Self-manifest. They manifested on their own. Because Brahmaji is not so skilled to manifest them. What description of Tulsidas ji? Ek kahi hama bahutana janahi apui parama dhanya kari manahi. And one more yatri says, I really don't know much. I don't know much. Actually, this should be our closing line. I don't know much, but I know that I am truly blessed. I don't know much Brahmaji made. They are Swayam Pragat. They self-manifested. Or how they came on this earth, and who sent them, their father, mother, and why they came, and this, all these things I don't know. But this much I know. For my eyes to feast on them, that means I am blessed to get their darshan. Evidhi kai kai bachana priya. Like this, on and on. All of them went on talking and thinking with great love for Bhagwan Ram, Sita, Lakshmana. Lehi nayana bhari need. And their eyes welled up with tears. Kimi chali hahi ma raga agama suti sukumar sarir. How these most delicate human beings are walking on this path, this most difficult path they are walking. This is 120, where we have to stop tonight. Now Bhagwan, he's still on this path, he's continuing. Bharadwaji left. All this is the path still being described. And I told you, next Muni, next sage, he will reach the ashram of Valmiki ji. That we'll see tomorrow. That also is a very long portion, a very, very famous portion. This Samvad means dialogue between Bhagwan Ram and Valmiki ji. Valmiki ji is the original author of Ramayana. So this will be seen tomorrow at Enterprise Mandir, DLS unit number 24. There's any main road in Enterprise? Yeah? Okay, tomorrow DLS. On the main road in Enterprise Village. Divine Life Society, unit number 24. Okay. Sunday coming, this Sunday, we are having a wonderful program at the ashram. If you have some time, you please come. It is called a Jalpan Extravaganza, which is our food fair. And we'll be making, in fact, today we got the kulfi in. And you can try kulfi, our own Trini style kulfi, and mishti dahi, sweet Calcutta style dahi, and we have a blend between pizza and pepper roti, which is called a pizzoti. Then we'll have dosa of different types. Different types or one type? Different types. 5 different types of dosa. Paneer dosa, Gini dosa, then Szechuan dosa, doubles dosa. Double dosa is purely Trini. There is a dosa from India with doubles chana and pepper sauce and all that. If you haven't tried a doubles dosa yet, well, half your life gone. Come down on Sunday and try something there. So many things will be there. Lot of dishes. Okay, this is Sunday, coming 6th of March. All right. Today's chanting was done by Pandit Surendra ji and members of the Lakshmi Saraswati Mandir, this Mandir. We thank you very much for doing the chanting. We'll also call on Pandit Surendra ji to give a vote of thanks before we have the Arati. Pandit Surendra is there. On your way out, please have a look at our bookstall. There are many wonderful titles that you can pick up for yourself and for friends and all. And there are many little gifts you can buy also. Our Chinmaya Upahar section has many little gifts. Now see, this is a cute little Ganesh in the Upahar section for children. To instill in children a sanskar from young. Have a love for Ganesh like that. It's a very cute one.
Prem se bolo Siyavar Ramachandra ki jai. Hari Om everyone, sab koi. Swamiji, I missed the introduction of my role. I guess I assume we are at the point of greetings and vote of thanks. Yeah. Okay. I sorry to have stepped out a bit. So, on behalf of Lakshmi Saraswati Mandir, everyone, first of all, we'd like to say a very cordial welcome and express our thanks and our gratitude for being chosen as a venue for one of the 108 Ramayana Yajnas. Let's give the Chinmaya mission a nice round of applause, please, because we may have a 3 nights Yajna, we may have a 7 nights or 9 nights, but to have 108 consecutive nights, Swamiji will need a lot of chai. Some nice hot chai each and every night to keep that energy level up and to keep going night after night. So today, we'd like to express our thanks to the members of the Mandir, the committee, for preparing and for being able to host this night of satsang. And we'd like to express our sincerest thanks to each and every one of you who would have chosen to be here, and those who would have viewed over the Facebook Live as well, and over the airwaves of 101.7 Broadcast Heritage Radio, which will be airing the broadcast, live broadcast each and every night. Mm-hmm. Tonight we have 2 important observances. In our midst here today, we have my sister Sunita and her husband Jaiki, and her family, together with her mother Indrani, her sister Shalini, her brothers Shailendra and Sudesh. They are observing the 2nd anniversary of their father's passing, Ajoda Prasad Maharaj, and they would have been as well the main sponsor for tonight and the hospitality of tonight. Tonight we pray that his soul, in this second anniversary of his passing, would be at peace and at rest as his daughter is here to be able to express that love, that connection that they would have shared with their father. Tonight we'd like to express our thanks to the family for choosing to honor the name and the legacy of their dad through hosting of tonight's satsang. What a fine way. There's no better way to honor our parents but to propagate Dharma and to teach Sanatan Dharma. So we pray that his soul would be at eternal peace. Tonight also we have my sister is here. My other two sisters were next to her a little while ago. My wife and son is here on the stage, and it's a special day for us. The 2nd of March, 2002, my nephew would have passed on from this world 20 years ago. It was a very trying moment. It was at this point in time, at around 8 p.m., when the hospital would have deemed and indicated to us that he would have passed. And at the age of 15 years, it would have been one that we all know we have to go through at some point, but it's always a very difficult process. So together with my brother, my sisters, and all those who are connected to the home, we pray on this 20th anniversary of his passing that his soul will also be at peace and at rest. We all know, as we said, one day these eyes will close. But while we are here, our purpose and our function is to listen to Ramayana Katha, is to listen to the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, is to listen to the scriptures. So that when these eyes are finally closed, all the memories, all the vibrations, all the energies of the scriptures will be embedded in our Atman, in our soul. And that will take us across into the next realm and based on karma into our next life. So Swamiji, the job that you are doing to propagate Dharma is one that very few can possibly do. Very few would have the knowledge, the wisdom, the tenacity, the strength, the courage, the determination to do what you have been doing over these years, not just in this land of Trinidad and Tobago, but throughout the world. We pray that all those who are connected to the Chinmaya mission, we pray that you'll always be blessed with that strength and that devotion to continue the great service. Thank you all very much. We do have refreshments for each and every one, and we pray that all those who would be able to retain and stay a while to have refreshments, you are welcome to. We also have takeaway packages for those who are so inclined. Sitaram once more, everyone. Much thanks to Kiranji and all members of the group for being here and making tonight possible. Sabko, if I forgot anyone by chance, my apologies, but we thank you very much. The sound system that you're seeing to the left is one that will be provided by Rajiv.
Ravi and Kiran.
Ravi and Kiran, sound system, and we'd like to thank the sound system for doing a wonderful job. I guess each and every night to provide the sound system is a huge task, and we sincerely thank the family for the great service that you're doing to ensure that the Yajna continues. And to all the members of Heritage Radio, we thank you very much for broadcasting night after night. Sitaram, everyone. Sabko Sitaram. We now turn over back to Swamiji as we conclude.
Punit, we also want to say a very special thank you to you and the hard-working members of this temple for hosting us tonight. And this is your way of making your contribution also to Sanatana Dharma. This is indeed commendable. We are so happy to be here, and we hope we'll meet sometime again soon. आरती के लिए सब खड़े हो जाइए. आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की. आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की. गावत ब्रह्मादिक मुनि नारद वाल्मीकि ज्ञान विशारद. सुख सनकादि शेष अरु शारद. बरनी पवन सुत सम्मत सब ही
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीर्ति करे कल में दसिया पी की आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीर्ति करे कल में दसिया पी
यावत संतत शंभु भवानी अरुघट संभव मुनि विज्ञानी व्यास आदि कवि बर्ज बखानी कागी भूषुंडी गरुड़ के ही
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीर्ति करे कल में दसिया पी की आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीर्ति करे कल में दसिया पी
कलिमल हरनि विषय रस फीकी सुभग सिंगार मुक्ति जुबती की दलन रोग भव मूरियमी की तात मात सब विधि तुलसी की
आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीर्ति करे कल में दसिया पी की आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीर्ति करे कल में दसिया पी
श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
मंगलम भगवान विष्णु मंगलम गरुड़ध्वजः मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्षं मंगलायतनो हरिः त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम बोलो सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय नमः पार्वती पते हर हर महादेव।